Welcome back, everyone, to the Bear Sharper Plays YouTube channel. Today is Thursday, November 21st, and I'm back breaking down some Thursday night football. We had a pretty fun matchup in store for us tonight. Pittsburgh going up against the Cleveland Browns. Division rivalry game, always the best kind of games. Have my best game pick, couple player props as well for that game. Before that, let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys on Monday night. Tough watch. Tough watch. You knew it was going to be bad whenever Fat Matt McCarthy ran the exact same damn special teams fake punt in back-to-back weeks. I mean, this guy is Texans. -7 was the play. They dominated. They dominated every aspect of the game. Actually, Dallas played probably the second best they've played all season long, and that was still horrible. Player props were Joe Mixon, anytime touchdown in the first half, plus 180. That one did cash. And then we had C.J. Stroud over 231.5 passing yards going up against the Cowboys as well. Both of those hitting very easily. C.J. had nearly 200 yards in the first half. So those were easy. Let's move on to the Thursday night game. We're going to be looking at the Browns going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are sitting at the top of the AFC, basically only behind the Bills and the Chiefs. Chiefs getting a loss from the Bills. After the Pittsburgh won that game against the Ravens, they're looking really nice. Have only dropped 2 games this season. They're currently in the driver's seat to make the playoffs. A lot of people starting to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers potentially making a Super Bowl run this season. Not so fast. This is a divisional game on a Thursday night game, and I think we have some chaos in store because the Cleveland Browns might be able to take down the red-hot Pittsburgh Steelers. For the last several years, over the last 16 games, in fact, between the Browns and the Steelers, 9 of those games have been one-possession games. The Browns have been very competitive over the years. They've been better recently, but the Browns of like Baker Mayfield and Johnny Manziel days, those teams have been competitive against the Steelers regardless of how good or bad the quarterback situation's been for Cleveland. I think the Browns are back in decent form, I guess I can say. Jameis Winston under quarterback. He's not afraid to sling the ball around the yard. If the defense tonight shows up for the Browns, we're going to see a great finish. I think the Browns can potentially win this game. I do think the Browns will stay in this game because Pittsburgh offensively, they've just been okay. They haven't been great, and I do think the Browns will force just a couple turnovers. They've been able to do that in a lot of these games, so I think the Browns will win either with the defensive play or the lack of offensive play from Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson, he's been okay. He's got that deep ball action going for him, but if he turns the ball over a little bit, Pittsburgh might be in trouble. I'm going to take the Browns here, plus 3.5. Make it interesting. The Steelers, everybody's talking about this playoff run. Everybody's talking about the Super Bowl run. That's when you're dangerous. That's when you're most dangerous to drop a game. You're going to slip up here. I'm taking the Browns plus 3.5 at home as the play. Let's move on to the player props for the first player prop of the day. We're going to be looking at Najee Harris going over his total rushing yards. I do expect this to be a game that's mostly played in the trenches. I don't know if the Browns are going to want to do that because the Steelers' rush defense, they've been pretty good this season. A lot of teams have been able to throw the ball on them a little bit more than running between the tackles, but the Pittsburgh Steelers will definitely be running the football in this game. The Browns defensively, the rushing defense hasn't been great this year. Pittsburgh's also their best whenever they establish the run first and open up the play action to maybe the best play action quarterback in NFL history. Russell Wilson on that deep ball, he just drops it right in your breadbasket. With Mike Williams and George Pickens now on the outside, things are looking easy for Russell Wilson. All you have to do is throw it up there, give those big guys a chance. But before we can do that, they usually give the ball to Najee Harris at least 15-plus times. He's had 18-plus carries in 4 consecutive games, having 63-plus yards in 4 consecutive games, having 100-plus yards in 3 of those 4 games. The Browns have a weakness. That's the rushing defense. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers will attack that. They like to attack the run anyway. I think Harris has 20-plus touches in this game. Going to go over 66.5 rushing yards as the first play for him. And for the last play of the day, we're looking at the other side. Maybe the funniest player in NFL this season, maybe NFL history, just with the way he acts, his comments, his post-game interviews. This is just an all-around great guy, I think. Sometimes it clouds my judgment a little bit because I like Jameis Winston. He's one of my favorite football players. I think he's a better person. I think he's a top-notch A-plus person. The overall football playing, probably more like a C-plus. But sometimes getting a C-plus in school on a hard test or whatever you want, like you're regretting the results or something, that's not the worst thing in the world. Jameis Winston is not the worst thing in the world in this game. We're going to go over 211.5 passing yards. The one place that the Pittsburgh Steelers have been picked apart just a little bit is in that secondary. The Steelers this season have been great at controlling the line of scrimmage. They've got T.J. Watt. They have great linebacker play. And most likely we're not going to see Nick Chubb scamping around this game. We might be able to see Jameis Winston open it up a little bit, have a double-double, 200-plus passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I like them to go over its total passing yards. I do think the Browns will be able to throw the ball down the field, not handing it off a ton of this one. I'm going to take his over to 11.5 passing as the final play of the day. Let's go take a look at the recap graphic. We're going with the Browns plus 3.5. Think they can muck things up. This is just a game where everybody's going to be on Pitt, 8-2 team, hot team. It feels like they can't lose. You want to take Tomlin in an underdog situation. This is not an underdog situation. This is the Browns at home getting 3.5 points. Give me the Browns. Najee Harris over 66.5 rushing yards going up against the Browns, and then Jameis Winston over his total passing yards going up against Pittsburgh. Guys, it's going to do it for the NFL Players and Props for Thursday, November 21st slate of games. So you guys enjoyed the content. Please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.